Hello friends, it's been a while. Here's a little something for our musical friends at Mountville. A little introduction to this. This was a result of a songwriting challenge. For those of you who don't know what that is, you get a bunch of words that are supremely non-related, and you have to string them together in a song. The words in question for this particular one were dungarees, high and mighty, and dole, with extra credit for horseshoe crab and the name of a certain celebrity, which will become clear as we commence. Here we go. Have fun, everybody. I was perched on my bar stool of a Tuesday night in my new dungarees. I was looking just right with my members only jacket and a fresh trimmed Fu Manchu. Worn out evening and a run downtown. Joe was setting them up and I was drinking them down, and it was years since that dive had seen anybody new. The Coors clock by the door said 1:30, and I was fixing to conclude that was it for fun for this particular evening, so I queried Joe for my tab. When a commotion commenced at the front of the bar, all the patrons rubbernecking at a long black car, long legs stepping out the back sideways like a horseshoe crab. Yeah, I know. I blinked a couple of times and rubbed my eyes, 'cause it was about a half a mile from her shoes to her thighs. North of that I stopped measuring, be a gentleman or a fool. She gathered up her purse and cycloned in with the face of an angel and a smile like sin, and planted that sweet high and mighty on the very next stool. I said, "Howdy, ma'am. Tell me, what would you think? I'd be most obliged if I could buy you a drink, and please don't answer in the negative, as I'm fearing." She said, "That sounds great, though it might be risky. I'll take a couple fingers of Tennessee whiskey. And by the way, love, what's your name? I'm Helen Mirren." I said, "Helen Mirren, well, blow me down. What brings the likes of you to this washed up town? Are you making a film or scouting for locations?" She said, "I'm on holiday a couple of days. Thought I'd get a little lost, maybe catch some rays. Might I inquire what it is you do here for recreation?" I said, "Pardon my manners, they call me Curly, and I don't intend to be forward or surly, but how's about you and me, Helen? What do you say?" She turned away, bought the house a drink, probably giving my proposal a long hard think, so I figured I needed a plan that would save the day. They say music can charm the savage breast, though I wouldn't call him savage, I was doubly impressed. She's a hell of a dame, Helen Mirren, if you know what I mean. So I started singing as loud as I could, a little Hank Williams as any man would, who was warbling to woo the woman of his dreams. Well, that got her attention. She turned around and inquired, "What is that ungodly sound?" "That's the foulest rendition of Kalijah I've ever heard." Then she downed another whiskey with fire in her eyes, said, "Pipe down, Curly, let me give it a try," and proceeded to nail honky-tonkin' word for word. She said, "Curly, friend, I'm never tired of singing, setting the woods on fire." Then she led the whole bar in the chorus of "I Saw the Light." She sang "Move It On Over" 8 or 9 times, and I heard that lonesome whistle whine, and "Hey, good looking" backwards just for spite. She covered Lovesick Blues, "Your Cheating Heart," and "Mind Your Own Business," and each time I'd start to join on harmony, she'd shut me down with a glance. It was closing time, but she wasn't done. Had a last sip of Jack, said, "It's been fun, but Curly dear, it's time for one last dance." Then she grabbed my hands and hang on tight, but my knees were wobbly and my head was light, and my nose made an impromptu beeline for the floor. I woke up next morning with a terrible bruise. The last thing I remember was her red-soled shoes and her singing jambalaya as she two-stepped out the door. Well, it's been many years since that lively night with that movie star. Sometimes I might conjecture I could have played her a supporting role. But if she comes back to Joe's, she'll have to wait. Since I've early retired, I embrace my fate and I steer clear of Joe's now that I'm on the dole. Take care, y'all.